and close that out. And I'm going to start here with our presentation. And our presentation today is titled, Let's Renew Those Stragglers. My name is Taffy Maurer. I'm so delighted to be here. You know, anytime somebody asks me to speak about membership, I'm in 100%, maybe even 150%, because I started out as membership director. Back then it was vice president of membership. I had to run, I had to campaign to be elected. Oh, this is how it was, you know? And so I'm all about it. And I loved, that's where a lot of the magic happened for me, was as membership director. So I am going to be talking and moving kind of fast today because it's a lightning round. And I will be talking to you about 7 timely strategies we can use with those stragglers to get them to renew, and short scripts to motivate them. And we're going to get them to push the renew button. And guess what? You're going to get other ideas to engage, to motivate, to connect with your members, so that there will be fewer of those renewal calls to make next year. Okay, here we go. What causes members of any membership organization to delay on renewing? You know how instead of doing it now, immediately, right now, they just, you know, kind of later and later and later. So I personally asked this question to membership directors.
Hello.
And I also, if you can, put yourself on mute.
Mine is live.
And I researched an article in Psychology Today. And there's actually an article on people who delay on renewing their membership. Yes, it was in Psychology Today. Do I recommend you go into Psychology Today and start researching anything? No, because you're going to pick up a psychosis or two. You swear you have. But I did do research for this, and we have a poll coming up. And Cindy is my sidekick, Cindy Newkirk. If you haven't met her out at National, she is amazing. And Cindy, you can kind of go ahead and pull up that poll. And here's the poll question: what makes our members delay renewing? And I'd like you to pick 2 of these, please, because we've all done renewal phone calls. We've all straggled in some organization we belong to. So pick 2 that resonate with you right now. First 2 that pop up in your mind as you go through. Okay? All right. And we'll take a look at those polls. And the poll is happening right now. We're just picking 2, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so we've got, we're almost there on ending that. Right now we've got, it's kind of adjusting around here.
It's only letting us choose one.
Oh, it's only letting you choose one? Go for one. Hey, you know, this what happens. Yeah, just pick the one, then that jumps out at you and resonates. Thank you for telling me that. Yeah, so I can see struggling with the return on the investment during COVID times, right? Yeah, I can see that. We're going to talk about that. And preoccupied with the current life situation. Oh my gosh, who wants to be a mother right now with 3 kids, a realtor, mother, and having distance learning going on, you know? Right now, that's not the job they signed up for. So I completely get it. And I also see forgot and meant to renew, because when I talked to some of the membership directors, some said, that's absolutely correct. They just forgot and meant to renew. Okay. All right, so we're good with our poll. We've kind of preset our minds here. It's called an anticipatory set. And so your minds are set on the topic, and we can move the poll out of the way. And if you would, we're going to close that poll out. See if I can do that. Good. And we're going to move on to the next slide. So we've got our minds on the topic, and we have a good idea of what is going on in our members' brains right now, right? And their lives. So for strategy number 1, I call it what's in your wallet. Let's talk about the structure of the network model. Let's talk about your recruitment and retention project team and who is making your renewal calls. So some of us have this emblazoned in our brain. And a couple of people have thought about making it a tattoo, just for quick reference, you know? But as soon as you make it a tattoo, guess what? It's going to change. But this is our beautiful network model. And you know, you see the president right here, and some of you are presidents. I see you, presidents. And down below, president-elect, secretary, treasurer, and 2 directors. Program director, we call it event director actually, and membership director. Underneath your membership director is recruitment and retention chair, right? That's your recruitment and retention chair. And underneath your recruitment and retention chair, underneath any of them actually can be project teams, okay? So there's going to be either a recruitment project team and a retention project team, or just one project team. So who is on your recruitment and retention project team? Who is helping to make those renewal calls? It should not be a brand new member. No, they don't have the tools for that. They don't have the experiential background for that. So I made this strategy number 1, as it's really important to stack this team. Stack this team. Stack this team with past presidents. Oh my gosh, we love them. Stack this team with previous or current board members. Oh yeah. Stack this team with longstanding members who always renew, and they renew early. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Stack this team. If you happen to have a member in your network that's a district vice president or has been, you know, served on the extended state line, reel them in, okay? And reach out to these members to help you during this critical time. I'm talking to the whole board here, presidents, membership. Reach out. You need to reach out to them. Help your membership director, and they will help. I guarantee. Then share this slideshow with them, and if you drop your email into the chat, I'll be sending it out to you at the end. Then share this slideshow with them, and they will totally get it. They will get it. Now, if you're newer or a very small network, a little baby, okay, no worries. This is Women's Council. This is Women's Council. We got you. Pull in your board members. Train them using this slideshow. Everybody gets trained. They will thank you. Whether you're president, membership director, whoever you are, they will thank you. Is now they will have the tools and the scripts to make meaningful and engaging renewal calls. That's strategy number 1. Strategy number 2, benefits of membership. You know, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, as we are a membership organization whose sole responsibility is to provide value to our members. But before I share more, I have to share this cute little Zoom photo. Oh my gosh, look at her. Look at her. This is Alex Coon. She's been the membership director the last 2 years for a network in Northern California called Delta. And this is how she showed up everywhere. She showed up everywhere. And guess what? I bet she even showed up at a Zoom wedding this way. She showed up everywhere. And she's just screaming the benefits of Women's Council. And and they have another one too on WCR.org, another one of these infographics on virtual benefits of Women's Council. Oh yeah, go get it. So she's inspiring us all to take our value to the next level. When you are making your calls, say, here's your first script. Tell me how you are using your member benefits. Listen to the response, which is good. Then you share. Now the conversation goes to a deeper level versus just saying, hey, we noticed you haven't renewed. Okay, it goes to a deeper level. It gives you a reason to connect. You know, this is what I share with people right now. I'm sharing it with any member, any prospect even who will listen, okay? During shelter in place, I went back to hard copy newsletters. And my clients, I found out, loved them. Loved them. They would actually take pictures of the newsletter when it arrived and send it to me and say, your newsletter came. Like I didn't know I had mailed it. You know, I paid the postage bill. Yet the Office Depot bill with my deep discount through Women's Council was 2/3 less. And I'm talking beautiful. It's a 4-page deal, newsletter. It's gorgeous. It's not like a copy machine, okay? We're professionals here. And then my office, besides the Office Depot discount, the 1-800-Flowers ones, I also have used the yummy fruit bouquets because, pretty much I was working 100% referrals during shelter in place because we couldn't do open houses. And so my A-list clients, they were referring, thank goodness. And if you're stuck at home with a fruit bouquet with chocolate, strawberries, and pineapple, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. They would post these on Facebook. So be ready as you make your phone calls to share your personal member benefit experiences. They're so much more powerful than just say, hey, we have some great training. Okay, get personal with it is where I'm going with this. Next, I told you we're moving fast. Strategy number 3, share your Women's Council story. Your story is so powerful. Share it, share it. Know the story you are telling. Know the story you are telling. If you aren't a Homeland fan, Carrie Matheson is a CIA operative who develops new identities for people who need protection, and then helps them to practice and practice and practice their story. Well, we're not changing identities, but even though we are not changing our identities, we still have to practice because we just can't say, oh, Women's Council is so great. Isn't it so great? It's so great. Well, yes, it is great. But we have to practice telling our story in a very compelling way. When I was network president, I actually gave my board the homework of practicing their Women's Council story and be ready to give it in 2 minutes or less at the next board meeting. Because we needed to be able to do that. Some call it your elevator speech. If you want to take a renewal call that can be so superficial and take it to a deeper level, share your powerful, notice I put there, you share your powerful Women's Council story, then ask, what is your Women's Council story? And watch what happens. As 2020 Leadership Institute graduate, we worked a lot on our Women's Council stories. And I have a longer one, and then I have the short one. The short one, this is what I'm talking about, the short one. Some of you may be familiar with it. Women's Council is the well I drink from. It's a well of positivity, and it's a well that's deep with purpose. Because as you know, the well you drink from is the well you think from. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just saying, know the story you are telling. Alrighty, strategy number 4. Here we go. Get to know this member so they feel valued and they feel heard. So important that we dig deep and really get to know them. Dig deeper, dig deeper. By interviewing our members, we have uncovered gold. We have uncovered gems. We become rich personally and professionally. Use this interview template. Use this interview template. And I'm asking you to use it. Even if it says new member, who cares? Just use it. We need to interview our members. We need to interview them. Say, you have been with us for a couple of years now, and as you're making your calls, we are starting to interview our members as we have found that we are sitting on a gold mine in our network. Use the interview template. You got a few minutes? I'd love to interview. Otherwise, can I set up a time? Oh, meanwhile, by the way, hey, we need you to renew. You forgot. Oh, good. Could you do that right now? Great. So set up a time, get them interviewed, get in there, really connect with them. There's a reason why they kind of delayed there, okay? And look at your members as a resource. And I'm going to let some people here in the waiting room, okay, in. All right, very good. And I'm going to go next here, which is moving a little slower all of a sudden here. So, and next. So I'm trying to change slides here, folks. You know how that goes. So when you interview people, you find, this is what you find out. One is leading a divorce group. Yeah, right, in California. That's a shocker, isn't it? Okay, one's leading a divorce group, and she's doing a really good job and has a lot of followers. Wow, those are some of my most difficult sellers when they're getting it. Could we use her as a resource? Absolutely. Another's handled 3 trusts in the last 2 years. Could we use her on a panel? Could we use her as a resource? Yes. Could we spotlight her as a resource? Yes, as our network. Another works almost exclusively with seniors in these senior communities. Wow, we need her. Those are hard to work with, especially if you're trying to get something passed architecturally or just trying to do something a little out of the box. She would be a spotlight too. Let's share these gems. Make sure your board knows about them. Make sure your event director knows about them. Let's get them on panels. Let's get them as presenters. Let's get them spotlighted. Let's truly, show that we are a gold mine. In interviewing, that straggler makes them feel genuinely valued and heard. They will push that renew button. Let's see if this slide will move forward for me now. Kind of a little bit in a pause here. There we go. Okay. And recently, I just want to share a little story about how a member of another network who I found out because I was governor and we find out these things. She, she'd been a past president and she'd always not been easy to renew. And, but she was a good speaker. She had spoken at, presented at her actual, with her brokerage, and somebody got the great idea of having her speak at an industry event because she's known for always coming back from great challenges. During the recession, she had to let 16 people go out of her office right away, and I mean, she came roaring back and made herself an REO agent. And she's had some personal challenges as well. As a member of that network, she spoke heart to heart at that industry event. They got the most overwhelming response from it, that there was a member that they could relate to that was like them, but also was an amazing resource. And she filled all their soul tanks. And guess what? She will never be a straggler again on renewing. She will never be, because her soul tank was also filled. Keep that story in mind. There's gold. There's gold in them there heels. There's gold. Remind them of the connections that are made in Women's Council. Remind them of those connections. Real connections happen. Real connections happen when people serve side by side or participate in events that bring us together. I know many of these connections were really easy, pre-COVID. They were really, I found my president-elect when, I was thinking of running for president. I needed president-elect. I needed a president-elect coming up behind me. I found it on, a wine tour. She sat next to me on the bus. Those are the kind of connections I'm talking about, but we're not doing wine tours right now. But so much is still happening in the virtual, hybrid, and COVID-safe world. One network meets quarterly for a Zoom cocktail hour with 3 other networks in 3 different states. Connections. Another network pulled off a hybrid fashion show with Macy's, a huge fundraiser. Some people stayed home, some people participated. Everybody stayed safe. Think about that. Wow. Another one did a COVID-safe walking architectural tour. Okay, making connections. Everybody stayed 6 feet apart. They wore their masks, talked the whole way. It was the best. It was a beautiful, beautiful day, and they learned. Let me show you a powerful connection done during COVID by Alameda County in the Bay Area. Let's see if I can get this done. It's a little slow moving forward, so sorry about that. Take a look at these pictures while I let them in, these people in the waiting room here, because it's kind of There in the waiting room. I'm going to admit all. Okay, good. All right. This is called, probably wondering, what is this? Some of you may even recognize the person in this picture. It's called You've Been Flocked. Yes, you've been flocked. What a fun way. What a fun way to make a connection and to raise money. Go to Home Depot and buy a bunch of flamingos. They're already in our blue and yellow. Members pay to flock each other. They pay to flock each other. Yes, it's a great fundraiser. It's so much fun. And don't think this one member here, Donna Sue's on the left, it was her birthday. She's not even in this network. They went over to the next network and they flocked her because she had worked with them as a governor. You know, I'm telling you, that's Women's Council. And I'm going, hey, what about me 2.5 hours away? I'm dying to get flocked. I'll pay extra for somebody to drive up. I want to be flocked so badly. I just want to go out there and see these flamingos. And then this mother, she's trying to do distance learning. She's a realtor. She was crying and she took pictures of her kids. They were so overjoyed. They're running out there, running around those, flamingos. Look at them. They're dancing out there. They're jumping in midair. You think this is not a connection? There's ways to connect. This is just another example of how we pivot during COVID. And you don't have to get flocked to remember how Women's Council has made us feel. Remind the straggler of the connections they have felt with Women's Council. Member spotlights on Facebook, member interviews, as I talked about, all help with those connections during COVID times. And frankly, they're best practices at all times. And we're going to move forward. So making that connection, ask, what was a time or event with Women's Council where you knew you were where you belonged? I want you to think about that. I'll share mine and then I'm going to have you start dropping it into the chat. I'm going to share the time that I knew I was with I belonged in Women's Council and I knew I was where I belonged when one other member toured one of my listings. I called for feedback. I didn't know she was a Women's Council member because she was with the Sacramento network, okay? But she knew I was. And when I called for feedback, she referred to me as sister. She called me sister. I was working out of a huge brokerage, 530 agents in one office, fiercely competitive. You think that didn't have a profound effect on me? That was like life-changing. Okay, I have a welcoming umbrella, hug, lifting me up kind of place. I'm staying. So drop into the chat. What was a time or event where Women's Council where you knew you were where you belonged? And I'm checking for it right now. Good. Oh my gosh, you guys. Warm and cozy. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I see. All the love. Look at these. Okay. Oh my gosh, Megan Oswald, you're so cute. I love you. I love you. I mean, you guys, right. After the first event I went to with Julie Ainsley, that's so cute. When I received a referral based on my profile, hot diggity. Good. Being asked to hold a position on a local network. Great. That makes you know you belong. Oh, and we will support you through whatever you go through in life. Women's Council is there for you. Wow, keep sharing. This is great. Thank you. Oh, new member, single mom. Oh, it's never stopped. Good, Lauren. Thank you. All right. So you see how powerful this is. And when you ask them to share that, you share, they share, it's all good. Okay, I'm watching our time here. We're moving. And I think it's because I can't get the slides going. Remind them of a law of the universe, strategy number 6. What you put in is what you get out, people. Ask, is Women's Council part of your business plan? If they say yes, okay, you all share how amazing it is. If they say no, You need to talk to it. You need to talk to it. Tell how it works as a pillar in your business plan. Showing up for events, taking advantage of opportunities. You know, when doors open, I walk through them. I walk through them in Women's Council. It's the best thing that ever happened. Instead of going, I don't know. I don't know. When door opens, walk through it. Okay. And when you serve and you serve next to people, you serve remotely with them, it doesn't make any difference. Just the act of serving is bringing you, well, has brought me tremendous financial and professional rewards that frankly, I never saw coming. I have to tell you. And so there's another lightning round tomorrow morning, how involvement and volunteerism in Women's Council will grow your business. That's a good one too, that you can share that with your members. Reminding the member who has not renewed that it's not too late in 2021 to put Women's Council on their business plan is totally appropriate thing to say right now. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. Referrals, okay, referrals. Look at that money, just flows out of the mailbox. It's flying all over. It's on the lawn. You have to run down the street to grab the bills. Yeah, don't we wish? But yeah, we do get referrals. We do get referrals. And we've got Kay Merg on here right now, who is the referral queen. She's a huge resource and she will, if you ask her sweetly, she will come and speak, I bet, to your network because she has the system down. She has it down. So when you're calling and making your renewal calls, don't do this. Don't say, have you received any referrals? No, don't say that. Okay, say, well, I've got you on the line. May I share a few tips with you that help me get more referrals? Share what you are doing to get referrals. Share how you also give referrals. There's another law of the universe. You give to get to give. Don't fight those laws of the universe, people. Please, don't fight them. Share specific referrals and how you got them. Advise them to update their radius profile, please. Please claim their profile. Put a picture up there, okay? And remind them that volunteering at virtual or hybrid events to gain visibility and developing relationships through service and then actively following up with the people you meet, that's how you get referrals. So referrals are a two-way street and we've got a pan exodus from California. Yeah, they're going to Idaho, Tennessee, some to Florida, and Idaho, Tennessee, Florida, and Montana. Okay, I call it the pan exodus. So I just love knowing that I can hand off my clients. It's a warm handoff to a Women's Council member. Any questions? You can, we've got, I think, maybe 1 minute, or you can email me them as well. And it was a little slow with the slides moving through, so it goofed me up a little bit, but we're okay. I want you to go now and make those calls and go for 100% retention. And I'm just checking in the chat to make sure I didn't miss something right there. And you can, if you email me at taffymaurer@gmail.com, I will send you anything you need, answer any questions. Or you can drop your email in the chat. I'm going to save the chat too. And I'm from, my network is Placer County, and that's in the foothills surrounding Sacramento. So I just want to, I'll check real quick before we close off because I promised them I would end on time. And okay, good. Thank you. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Okay, thank you very much. I love my Women's Council peeps. I love you guys. You fill my soul tank. Okay. Thank you so much. And send me any questions. You got my email. We're good to go. And I'm going to save the chat right now. Okay. You guys, I think you can go on either to the next one because I'm going to jump back in myself.
Hey, Taffy.
Yes.
You are our calendar queen in California. You should a little bit about what, how you coordinate all of the events for
our network send me their events, and then what I do is I post it on a calendar for the state line and the extended state line, so then they can drop in on these virtual events, and they know when they're going on, and they love doing it. And it's called a Team Up calendar. If you want to know more about that, just once again, email me or put information in the chat, and I will send you that information too, because it's a great way to see what everyone else is doing, share, and it's a great way for the state line to be able to participate. Thanks for pointing that out, Kay. I appreciate that. Thank you. You guys always
Great
got my
job.
Thank
Woo!
you so much. Thank you. Okay.
Love you,
All right.
Taffy.
Thank you.
Great job, Taffy. Great
Thank
job.
you.
And now
Thanks
we're
for all
gonna
the
go
help.
support
I felt the love. I felt the love.
Now we're gonna support Sabrina. She's gonna teach us about the
Okay.
microbites.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back out. I'm gonna save the chat. I'm heading on to the rest of the, I'm heading on to the rest. I gotta get back on another link. Okay.
Go,
thank-
Taffy.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, lady.
Bye-bye. Thank you. I'm gonna save the chat and then I'll be good. Going to participants.